Hello, welcome. Let's talk about psychology. Okay, real talk. I don't know about you, and I do not want to presume, but I will say for myself, I am very insecure about my conversation skills. Very. Still, at my age, with all of the practice I've had talking with fellow humans, it's like after every conversation, every interaction I have, I feel very disappointed in my performance. Usually there's some notes, some behaviors we should really work on in the future. And I pretty much assume whoever I was talking with, they've got some harsh notes as well. I assume the worst. I really do. After talking with people, after interacting, I assume the worst. And I've been doing some research. I've been reading up on this. I've been looking at the numbers, and I'm not alone. These are pretty common thoughts and feelings to have. And truly, a lot of the time, after we have a conversation, after we talk with somebody or interact, we feel like we came off poorly and others are judging us harshly. And actually, this is a rare area. This is a rare area where really we often think we came off worse than we actually did. We assume that others are judging us worse than they actually are. We essentially are thinking worse of ourselves than we should, than is warranted. And this is so rare. One of the more robust findings in psychology is that we as people, if at all possible, we will think better of ourselves than we should. That's usually our deal. That is usually our thing. But when we're trying to predict how much other people like us, especially after an interaction, especially after talking with them, we often think worse of ourselves than is warranted. I do want to say this is just a tendency. It is simply a tendency. It's definitely not 100% for all people. It's not 100% for all conversations, but it is a tendency that we have. So why? What's going on? Why do we think worse of ourselves than other people do? One thing that does appear to be kind of driving this is there can be a disconnect in perspective taking. Such is life. Perspective taking is hard. And so one thing that happens, okay, so if we're trying to imagine what somebody else thinks of us, it is very hard to ignore what we think of us at that moment in time. And the truth is, after interactions, after talking with people, we can be kind of hard on ourselves. We make small, I'll call them goofs for lack of a better word. We do things during conversations that aren't ideal. And we may do something like we talked too much, a little bit. We talked a little bit too much, or we told a story and it was too long and not enough payoff, or we were boring. We were boring making small talk. Those types of goofs that we make when we're talking with people, those can feel very large to us. Those can feel very large in our mind. We often feel embarrassed. We can feel like it was everybody noticed. Everybody noticed this thing that we did. It was so obvious. We often feel like we should have known better. So it's like unforgivable that we made this mistake during a conversation. And so these things, they can feel very, very large to us. But the truth is, to other people, they're usually not that big of a deal. So first, a lot of the time, people don't even notice. They don't even notice these things because minds are busy. People's minds are busy. So when we're having a conversation with someone, they're paying attention to us, but they might also be thinking about other things. So they may be paying attention to us, but they're also thinking about what they need to say next in the conversation. Or maybe they're a little bit distracted. They saw like they have a notification waiting on their phone. So they're engaged, but they're kind of thinking about that other thing too. Our minds are busy. And so some things that we do that feels so glaring to us, it feels so obvious and so glaring, other people, they may not have even noticed in the first place. And then even if people do notice, a lot of the time they don't think it's all that bad. We tend to judge our like blunders and goofs, we judge those more harshly than other people do, usually. And one reason for this, that people don't think it's all that bad, is because people understand. People get it. We've all told a story that didn't pay off as much as we'd hoped. We've all been boring before. We've all been there. So people understand, and it's not usually enough to really think very poorly of someone. So after conversations, after interactions, we can be a little hard on ourselves, and some things can feel really huge to us, but other people may not have even noticed. And if they did, they may not think it's all that bad. May not be as bad as it feels. That's what I'm going to keep telling myself. It may not be as bad as it feels. I'm going to try it, and we'll see how it goes. So that's pretty much all that I got. To be honest, thank you for watching all the way to the end. I do appreciate it. I truly do. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those. I would love to hear from you. I think I'm going to just try to post every 2 weeks from here out. I really wanted to do weekly videos, but I don't think I can. I just don't think I can do that. So not going to stress myself out trying. So hopefully I will be back in 2 weeks. We'll talk about something cool. I hope you have a good couple of weeks, and I hope to see you soon.